Welcome to Slayerfest 98. I'm Ian Carlos Crawford,
I'm Julie Benz.
and we're here to talk White Lotus Season 3. Julie, I love how much you love the show because I'm also obsessed. What did you think of Season 3 just overall?
It was a slow burn for sure. To be honest, in the beginning, I wasn't sure. Like the first two episodes, I was kind of like, I don't really think it has that special magic that the other seasons have had. But I think that was crafted in a specific way
Yeah,
because I found this season to be more addictive than in the past. Like
I
I
did too.
had to
Yeah.
watch it on Sunday nights. Like I had to see it.
Yeah,
So
you and I are in the minority because a lot of people did not love the slow burn as much as we did, but I feel the same way you did, where I was like, I like this, but I don't know. And then I appreciated the slow burn, right? Like I do think
yeah,
it worked. I don't know.
I saw an interview today with Mike White, and he used a term called edging, which I don't really know what that means. I think I know what it means. Um,
I think you
but
do.
that's what it felt like.
Yeah. Yes. Is that the same interview where he was like, and if you don't like the story, you don't have to watch. Don't be a bossy
Yeah,
bottom. Yeah.
he said, "Get out of my bed if you
Yeah.
don't like it." But I think that I also think that the location really changes the story because I've spent time in Thailand. I filmed there for 3 months on Rambo,
Oh, cool.
and I've been all over Italy. I've also spent a lot of time in Italy, and I've spent a lot of time in Hawaii. And I don't know. I feel like Thailand is just a different. It's just a different beast, and I think that's what the slow burn was about too, was because of where it was located. Whereas like Italy's kind of like frenetic and crazy and fun and the food and all of that, and Hawaii is chill. I've not been to where they filmed. I was in the jungles in Chiang Mai, but there's animals, there's creatures, there's bugs, there's the heat is
Yeah.
insane. So I think that kind of gives that. I think the writing style reflected the where it was taking place, if that makes sense.
So that actually is a point I wanted to bring up too, is that I think this season, the slow burn did a little bit, and like I've loved all the seasons. I don't think there's like a bad season, but this season I think a little bit almost brought a little bit more nuance to a character like Saxon, who normally it's like they're just kind of an asshole. You don't really care about them. But
Yeah.
yeah, that look, it was like, oh, I feel bad for him. Like I do. Like he was kind of
Well,
like finding himself almost.
yeah. Surprisingly, I think he had one of the biggest story arcs,
Yeah.
um, and it's a beautiful story arc because he's hopefully he's going to go back and not be such a douchebag.
Right, right.
Sorry.
I was thinking that too. I was like, am I just being overly hopeful? But that I did feel that way, right? Like he would go home
Yeah.
kind of better.
Yeah. I mean, he had the most like spiritual journey.
And he was
Um,
reading that book and like kept hiding it. And then on the boat, he was just like openly reading it. So,
Openly reading it. Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
do like that Chelsea, a lot of it had to do with Chelsea. Like our poor, our
Uh,
poor departed baby, but she had a nice impact on him, right? Like I do think she affected him.
oh, completely. And what a beautiful actress. I mean,
Ugh.
just she like from the minute you saw her, I don't know. I just like fell in love with her, and I just think that the audience, like we all fell in love with
Yeah.
her. And it's so tragic what happened in the end. I predicted it. I'm not gonna lie, I predicted
We
it.
talked about it, right? We both talked about it. We did predict that she would be one of them.
And just the imagery at the end when they're in the lily pond, and it's like the yin and yang symbol.
I
Um,
know. And
yeah,
I hate that like almost I mean I love it because the story's well done, but I she was so sweet. She felt like either of us could be friends with her, right? Like she
yeah.
felt like
I think she's the type of person like you hope to meet on vacation.
Mhm. Yeah, like I would hang out with her on vacation.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's almost like her kindness and her loyalty kind of in the end was what like did her in, right? Because
Yeah.
she loved Rick. He was kind of I'm curious what you would think because you're a lot more together than I am. Um, I was like, I feel like if I were friends with her, I'd be like, I love you. You're so sweet. You don't need to be with this man. Like the way he talked to her was like not great, but she did love
I
him. I don't know, but they loved each other
I
in their
know,
own
but he
way.
was going through something like I always felt that he loved her, just that what he was going through was so much
Okay.
bigger
Yeah.
than that, and she was just being super supportive. And but what did she say? She said, oh, yeah, I wrote it down. Stop thinking about the love you didn't get and think about the love you have, which I think is the best life advice ever.
That feels
Like,
like some shit you would say to me, Julie.
yeah. And I'm gonna actually write it on a nice post-it and put it on my mirror, like to remember,
That's a good
because
idea.
it is to me like I think the best life advice ever written, ever given. Now the whole thing with the Carrie Coon, that speech at the end bothered me a little bit.
Hit
It
me.
was
Give me your hot take.
phenomenal. But by the way, she is phenomenal.
So good.
But her saying, I died laughing when she said, "You have a beautiful face. You have a beautiful life." I mean,
I
the
would have
"you
been
have
like,
a beautiful face" is good. It was really hysterical. But when she says, "I'm just happy," basically, I'm just happy to be here at the table, and I think I was hoping for more from her,
hmm.
just so that she saw herself more as an equal at the table and not still kind of like I'm just happy to be here at the table, right?
Yeah, I think I
It felt a
relate.
little sad to me. Like I didn't feel like it was, I don't know. I just would have liked to have seen her accept that she's at the table.
So again, I related to her a lot. And I think the way I felt about it was as someone who gets like, I get really self-conscious. You know, I feel like, I don't know that straight men have this, but like I know gay men and women do a lot where it's like, oh, like they're so much prettier than me, or like, oh, like they look so much better than me. And like, she was that character that felt that way, right? Like she kind of almost put herself in the position of, I am lesser. And I don't think they thought of her like that. They gossip, but they gossip because they gossip, not because they
Right.
hated her or thought of her like that. And I think sometimes it can be hard to take yourself out of it and be like, just shut up, just enjoy what this is. And I felt like she was trying to find a middle ground between that and I love my friends, I love what we have. And I feel like that was her trying to like close the gap almost to be like, yeah, sometimes I don't feel like I'm as successful or as pretty or whatever as y'all, but I'm happy we have this love. Um,
But she's
because
obviously smarter than all of them. I mean, that's, like, you know what I mean? She's obviously smarter.
I feel like again, this is not to do therapy, but like I kept thinking of like shit. They're saying she devoted her life to her job. Hello, me with my podcast. And like that she, you know, she was the like single one. She was the one that like couldn't get laid, but then she did. So good for her. And
Yeah.
I felt like I don't know. I just that speech really that speech made me cry. That and the like fake out of Lachlan's death were what
Oh.
hit me the hardest, honestly.
And I actually started thinking that Mook was the ringleader of the thefts, because do you see how she perked up last night when he said um, he knew the identity?
Yes,
She was
yes.
kind of blowing him off, and then all of a sudden he brought that, and she kind of perked up and like got like really interested. I really think she's somehow involved.
I can see that. I want to talk about the brothers because I thought you had a really good take on the
Oh, what
brothers.
was it? What did
When
I
you,
say?
because I showed you my article and you were like, I
Yeah.
think it was more about like a power
Oh, it was
dynamic.
about power. No, yeah, it's about power. It's about, I mean, Lachlan basically says it. Like but I also think the power shifted because
Yes.
Lachlan had, in those scenes when they were doing drugs and everything, Lachlan just took them. He
Yeah.
just took the drugs and just did it, where Saxon had the issue with it. So all of a sudden, Lachlan was cooler than his older
Mm-hmm.
brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, and I just think that was like a big power shift that happened.
Yeah,
So
I like didn't think of it quite like that, and then watching it, and I felt so bad for him. It's so weird to say, right? Like, oh, when the brothers were talking about their threesome, but I really felt bad for Lachlan when he was like, I'm just a pleaser. I just wanted to like please you, and Saxon was like, well, don't worship me so much. I do wish they could have had some better kind of
resolution,
resolution because I hate the idea that like Saxon just was like shitty to him and then walked away. But to your point of like Saxon leaving a better person, maybe
maybe
it,
there will be a better resolution,
yeah, it made sense that that type of person would then attract a character like Lachlan looking up to him. Like
right?
it made sense that Lachlan is more of a like teen who's like a little bit more shy, a little more of an introvert.
Well, because
And
there's strong personalities in that family.
yes, and I remember when he went to it was early on when he went to like the posture correction. And the guy was like reading him like accidentally, but he's like, "Oh, so you feel like you have to please your family? Well, the way you're sitting is like, you're worried about blah blah. Oh, it's your feminine side." And he's just like, "Oh God." What?
Yeah.
Also, it was like, just say gay. One of the things you're looking at, sir, is gay. That's like, but I really like, I just really like a nuance, like things that can be more than one thing where I can, like, we can say Saxon is a douchebag, but we found him charming. Like, I really like that kind of
Well, he
storytelling
broke our heart in the end. That look at the end. I mean,
because I do
he
think he liked Chelsea. Like, he was,
oh he fell in love with her
yeah,
like in a weird way. I mean, I think that he has a long way to go before he falls in love for
yes,
real. But he recognized. I think he left there wanting what Chelsea and Rick have.
yeah, yeah,
And meanwhile, all his interactions with women prior to that were just
like
like
sex,
like sex and treating women poorly.
yeah,
And then he really kind of saw this reflection, and I think he really thought, he is a bit of a narcissist, and he probably thought that Chelsea would fall for him, right?
yeah,
One of my favorite moments from the finale was when when Piper first started confessing that she couldn't stay. I thought she was doing it as a ruse to keep Lachlan
Lachlan.
from,
That's what I thought too. I was like, oh, she's just saying this so Lachlan won't stay.
right. And then, I mean, the tears were like projectiling out of her eyes, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, this is real. And just Parker's face, Victoria's face during that whole thing. And then when she she hugs her and gives her
Yeah.
gives the thumbs up. That I just was dying. I
It's
was
so
like,
good.
this is an Emmy right there. Like,
Yes. I feel like her and Carrie Coon are gonna be, and maybe Patrick Schwarzenegger will be like the people that get at least noms for
Walton
this.
Goggins will, I think.
Mm.
And Sam Rockwell. Let's talk about Sam Rockwell.
Oh my God, that monologue, I loved it.
It was incredible.
I loved how wild it was, and I loved that's not what you would have expected for Sam Rockwell to give as a monologue, right?
But
But
also ladyboys are treated differently in Thailand than,
are they
I mean, yeah, I think so. No?
like in a? But I mean, like I don't know, in like a they're respected for like what they are, or like treated like crap,
No,
or
I mean, I think there's a little more respect. I mean, they're a lot, they have like the ladyboy shows. I didn't
oh
go to one, but I know that they had like these ladyboy shows where
oh
they dance,
really?
yeah, and it's like
Oh, I didn't
um
realize that. I not to say
culturally a little more acceptable, I think.
okay. I didn't. I thought it was kind of like they were looked down on by like people that live there, but it was
I
just
don't know.
like
You know what? There is a weird relationship with sex in Thailand. The culture in Thailand is so completely different.
yeah, and like
And I loved it. Like when I was there, I loved it. I loved every minute of it. Like even though I was shooting in the jungles every day and the bugs are bigger
oh
than birds.
God.
And it's hot, but the people are so wonderful and the food is so incredible. I mean, it's the only place, like, I mean, I went there, I lost so much weight. And I was eating carbs every day, every meal. I was having pad thai morning, noon, and night to just try to keep weight on because the food is so fresh, the ingredients, like everything is just so amazing. And I think that also that's probably why. I mean, listen, I love Italy too. I love Italy. I love all the food. And now, did you hear that interview that Jason Isaacs gave that said that there was a whole like White Lotus going on off camera?
No.
He said he said without the dead bodies, but there was like, he's like there were friendships made, friendships lost, and that there was this whole like behind the scenes life that was going on. And he said it was a mix of like Lord of the Flies and I forget what the other
I feel
thing.
like that's probably not that uncommon though, right? You've worked on a
Yeah,
lot of
but
movies.
I think especially in Thailand because they were on an island and at a resort, whereas like supposedly the cast in Italy partied a lot
Mhm. Makes
all
sense.
together. Like they partied a lot. Um, but in Thailand, everybody said it was just too hot. It was the bugs, like it was so they didn't party as much, but they did go off and do fun things. But it's different. I've looked at that resort in Sicily. I've never been to that resort in Sicily, but I've been to Sicily,
Okay.
and you can leave and go, and like there's so much you can go and do, and like
Yeah.
you know.
Things are like more
Whereas like
accessible, right?
they couldn't really swim, they couldn't lay out, they couldn't because they couldn't get too tan because
Right.
8 days, right? Not
Right.
so.
I didn't think
And
about
then
that.
everybody just kept complaining about how hot it was.
I feel like when it's that hot, I need to just be drunk so I can then I'm like, great, whatever, I'll go out. But if I'm like sober, I'm like, nope, too hot. I need to stay in the air conditioning. Like when they went to the street festival and the like
Yeah.
kids were hitting with water guns, I was like, no, I need to go home. Like
That would have felt great getting sprayed with a
true.
water gun. I know that heat. It's intense. It's intense heat. So
And the moon festival is like a real thing too. I read about that.
yes,
That's like a real thing.
yeah.
Um
And
also
I love when they went to the pool when the three ladies went to the pool at the other resort.
I love when the other old ladies are talking to them and they're like, oh, we wanted to be at the White Lotus. And she's like, wait a minute. Like,
Wait a minute.
that's like, I once went on a date with a younger guy who I like when we're on we met out at a bar where he like had mutual friends. And when we're on the date, I was like, I forget, I think he was like 30, right? So still 10-ish years younger than me. And I was like, oh, I forgot how much older I am than you. And he went, oh, are you like 55, 60? And I was like, what? He was like, well, I just remember you look really good for your age, but like you're a lot older. And I was like, okay, I'm not that much
You're
older
not
than
that
you.
old. Not that old.
I was like, it's 10 years, not 20. Like, let's relax. And like, it also kind of made sense that this like hot, younger, whatever kind of like dummy would be like, yeah, that's where they go, even though that's clearly not the age. Or the like, even if those women were the same age as
Yeah.
it still wouldn't be their vibe.
Yeah, it was funny. I love that moment. And then I will say this, I felt like the hotel manager was very underutilized, and he's a
Yes.
phenomenal actor. And I felt like they didn't utilize him enough. I wanted to see more of him singing.
He spends so much time telling everyone, I'm going to be singing,
I
and we
know,
saw like 10 seconds.
10 seconds. And I just wish that he had been utilized a little bit more. And then let's talk about the whole Belinda storyline because we haven't talked about that.
Yes, yes. I really was going to be so annoyed if like morally she couldn't do it. 'Cause I was like, do it. Your son is right. This man is like so
Right.
rich and has people killed. If you don't take it, there's a chance he will kill you and your son. So like, what's the better option, right? Like,
I loved that moment in the negotiations where she left and then she was just pretending
I
like
was so proud of her.
it was so well done. And then she did to Porn Chai. Is that how you say his name? Porn Chai?
I think, yeah.
Yeah. She did to him what Jennifer
Jennifer Coolidge
Coolidge
did to
did to
her.
her.
I
But it makes sense because when she
Yes.
said, "Can I just be rich for like 5 minutes?" It was like, "Yes, girl, yes." Because I really get the vibe. I mean, we don't know much about her backstory, but I really get the vibe that she was a single mom. She raised a son. She worked hard. She's worked hard. She raised a great son. And yeah, now it's time for Belinda to get her groove back. You know what I mean? And
And like just like
don't
two
don't
episodes, when she was like, "Can I get a fucking break this fucking lifetime?" She
yeah.
did deserve the break. And you're right. I That's another thing that I really liked was she did to that guy what was done to her, but it really that was her option, right? She had to kind of do that because
She had
I
to, and also, by the way, and maybe I'm not recalling this properly, but wasn't it Jennifer Coolidge's idea to start the,
I think it was. I think it
whereas
was.
this was his idea. It wasn't her idea.
Yeah.
So it was, because even when he said to her, we should open a place, like she was kind of looking at him like, I've been here before.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't have money, and I don't have
And I don't have
money.
money, so yeah.
But I don't know. Like it just it felt, and now I maybe she'll keep the door open and they'll find their way back to each other. Now that she has $5 million. Although I didn't realize you could bank transfer 5 million, and after taxes and everything, it's really only going to be like three and a half.
I was thinking that. I was like, does that work different over there? Like I was not sure of like how that work, you know what I mean? Because like
Yeah.
who knows? That man is so rich. Who knows where his like accounts are from? But I
Oh,
was thinking that.
yeah. And then I did read a really funny theory about Victoria Ratliff that she's been. Remember, she mentions that they go to the Caribbean usually,
Mhm.
and this person was saying this theory is that they probably go to Grand Cayman, and she knows that the money's gone, and she's been hiding money in the Grand Caymans, and she's gonna leave him.
I could see that. I like she's kind of dumb, but I don't think she's that stupid, right? Like I do think
Right.
she's like a little dummy, but I think also she's like a smart woman who knows how to like I feel like she loves her family, she loves her husband, but like she doesn't want to be left with nothing. So like
Right.
I
She's
can
not
see that.
made to live a simple life.
I saw a tweet about that was like me when I see an apartment without a washer and dryer in unit.
There's so many great memes using that right now. It's like, it's so funny. It was one of
I
the best lines.
I have been loving all the memes. It's funny when I first started posting them to Slayerfest, it was like hit or miss because I try to expand the brand, but
Right.
sometimes posting outside of like superhero or Buffy stuff doesn't do well. But they've been doing so well, all the memes.
Yeah.
And I did. I think I just saw that you just saw it, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
did that.
saw it. I
I
loved
had
it.
I had to include you, duh, Julie.
Somebody in my messages said I should be in season 4 playing a sugar mommy. I'm like, yes, make me a sugar mommy. I will do it. I will do it. I will take one for the team and play a sugar mommy. As
Listen,
they've done the old guy with the young girl. They've done that quite a lot. It's time we get the older woman with the young hot guy, and let me be that. Let me be that.
Julie, you would fucking kill. You would
I,
do so good.
by the way, Emma Caulfield and Leslie Bibb would be incredible because they look alike, but she's shorter than me, and
Oh,
I'm short.
really?
She's tiny, and
Okay.
Leslie's tall. Like, imagine sisters with that height difference. It'd be amazing. Mike White, if you're listening.
But like, don't they look alike? Like, I kept thinking
They
how much they
do.
look alike. She would make certain faces, and I'd be like, "Wow, that really looks like Emma
They
Caulfield."
look so much alike, but the height difference, they would be
That's funny.
so good together. Oh my God. I was like, yes, make this happen.
I love
But
that.
I don't want to be the hotel manager. I want to be the sugar mommy. It would be incredible to check into the White Lotus. Hopefully I would check out.
But like, I
With
would,
my history, I'd probably end up as the dead body.
you do tend to have a role that dies quick.
Yes.
Who, who were your MVPs, character wise? And then we'll do actor wise.
Character wise, MVPs, definitely Saxon, Chelsea,
Yeah.
and Victoria, I think.
All
Those were
right.
my MVP character wise.
Well, unsurprisingly, yeah, that's. I was like, oh, my list will just be different because I'll have Victoria on it. But yeah, there you go.
And then actor wise, I mean, like I said from the start, I mean, everybody is so phenomenal. Everyone, every single actor was so amazing.
Yeah.
Um, maybe we could have seen a little more of the monkeys.
I told you my stupid theory that I was kind of buying into was that
You
maybe the
thought the
monkey got to go.
monkeys were going to steal the gun. Everybody was saying that. I was like, there's no way. That's not happening. Um,
You very politely said that because you didn't say anything when I said that. I was like,
yeah, no.
yeah.
I was like, also, Parker Posey shot that down in an interview.
Oh,
Like,
she
she
did?
shot
Oh,
that
okay.
theory down very quickly. I think it was her. It's either her or Leslie. One of them shot that
One of
theory
them,
down
yeah.
very quickly because I was like, yeah, it's not going to be a monkey.
Yeah, fair. And I mean, it was not. I think for me, actor wise, I think I would say Carrie Coon and Patrick Schwarzenegger, I think. But character wise, same. But like, right, they're all so good.
It's
Like,
so good. And yeah, Walton Goggins was phenomenal. I mean, Sam Rockwell was great. Amy Lou Wood, like everybody, like I can't separate any of them because I just think they were all really amazing.
because like so many people got really good monologues. Even Chloe, when she gives the monologue
Yeah.
about her boyfriend, like seeing his parents have sex, like every new level of that was like, holy shit, Jesus Christ. Like
Yeah, I mean, it's just the bravo to the casting director. Bravo.
they always get like the best casts. Yeah. And
Yeah,
I love that also it's like seasoned act, like we could get Parker Posey, but then also like Patrick Schwarzenegger, who I've never seen do. I think I've seen him in like a zombie movie. It was like a horror comedy, but I think that's the only thing I'd seen him in before this. So someone you might not expect to give such a
yeah,
good performance. Like you can mix the two, and I like when shows can do that, where it's like it can be prestige TV, but doesn't always have to have all the biggest names that you see in everything.
yeah. Well, because I mean, Mike White they've done that in the past too. Like Megan Fahey, I didn't really know
I didn't know her. Yeah.
before season two, and God, she was incredible.
That monologue she gave, like,
Oh,
so good.
I think I
Uh,
watched it like 6 times, and then
that,
I had to read about it like that.
yeah, that for me, that was like the standout like monologue of that season. And Aubrey Plaza is not someone that I would have thought would do so well
I
on
know.
White Lotus, but she was great too.
She was amazing. So
Yeah,
I think they really do a great job casting the right people for the right role. And I think that's what you see.
yeah,
I know it's a very particular process, I've heard.
yeah,
So, but they do such a great job at it. It's
yeah.
incredible. I mean, like Amy Lou Wood, I had never seen her before. I know she was on a show, but I hadn't watched it.
Sex education, because it's like a similar role, but more like kind of one note where she's cute and fun, but
But this, like literally from the minute she got off that boat, I'm like, who is that?
yes, like I would have
I
been
mean,
drinking with her on the beach. I would have loved her.
I mean, if I was on vacation, like, that's who I'd be hanging out
Yeah,
with.
absolutely. And one last question, what's your ranking season wise?
Oh God, that's really hard. I can't.
All right.
It's like my 3 kids, right? If I had kids, they're like my kids. Okay. God, that's really difficult. I guess I'm going to rank this season high as one, and then season two as two, and season one as three, only because this season I threw a party.
Yeah. Yeah. I said this in my group chat earlier that it's 3, 2, 1. Descending order, three is my favorite, but I love them all. There's no bad one. It's just like you said, I really wonder what it is about this season that like really especially got you and I, because same, like I was more hooked than I had ever been, and I don't really, again, I don't normally love a slow burn, but I love this.
Yeah. And
Um,
especially, I would say, especially after like the third episode or fourth episode, I was really like going like, wow. There's a lot going on here.
The friends and all of it
Yeah.
was great. Julie, thank you for doing this. It's always
Oh,
fun
thank you
talking to
for
you.
having me. I hope it was good.
It was great. Julie, tell everyone where they can find you on social media.
Oh, at Julie Benz MFT, which stands for My Favorite Things, Not Marriage Family Therapist.
When I was tagging you today, I was like, wait, what are the initials again?
MFT, My Favorite Things. I get so many people thinking I have left acting and become a marriage family therapist. That is not true.
Well, make sure to check Julie out on social. And if you like Slayerfest, you can find us at Slayerfest X98 on all platforms. And you can watch our video recording, which this one is, on YouTube, and listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And we will see you next time. Bye.